Hello everybody, it's lesson 26 of the workbook in A Course of Miracles. I'm glad you're here. It's very early morning where I am, and I've just reread lesson 26, did as well the exercises, did them as well yesterday, but I just wanted to spend a little bit more time on them and decided not to close the exercise yet yesterday evening. I think it's a very important lesson and very impactful and emotional for me as well. It's about finding out that we are invulnerable, but that we make ourselves vulnerable through attack thoughts. So attack thoughts, we learned already earlier what they are, and that we have and project attack thoughts out into the world, and that we get them back, reflected back to us when we think that we are being attacked, right? So we learned that already in previous lessons, and today we learn because your attack thoughts will be projected, you will fear attack. Makes complete sense, right? And if you fear attack, you must believe that you are not invulnerable. Attack thoughts therefore make you vulnerable in your own mind, which is where the attack thoughts are. Attack thoughts and invulnerability cannot be accepted together, they contradict each other. So this is one of the biggest realizations of lesson 26, that we realize that we are creating our own fear of being attacked from the world, from situations, from fate, from people, that we are actually creating it through our own thoughts and by believing that we are vulnerable, that we can actually be attacked because we attack ourselves. So we create this in the first place, and therefore we attack ourselves. That's what it says in the next paragraph. The idea for today introduces the thought that you always attack yourself first. If attack thoughts must entail the belief that you are vulnerable, their effect is to weaken you in your own eyes. Thus, they have attacked your perception of yourself. And therefore, we have a wrong vision and perception of ourselves of being vulnerable. Vulnerable to be attacked and vulnerable to attack others, right? Which is kind of sad to think that we are creating this all for ourselves. Obviously that would be the case given of all the other learnings that we had already in the workbook, but as well from the text. But it's still, emotional to actually be faced with these facts and apply them to your own life, right? Actually go through the exercise of today and see what it actually does. So I went through the exercise by actually writing it all down. I feel that it gives me more if I write these more complicated exercises down instead of just doing them in my head. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it helps me to be a bit more concise about it, writing it all down. So I wrote down several concerns for me, and then all the things that I'm afraid that might happen, which is the exercise for this lesson, right? It was on the one side, of course, a bit scary to see it all written down. On the other side, it was freeing as well to write it down. Usually we focus on writing down what we do want and not so much what we're afraid of might happen. But one of the biggest realization from this exercise I just had now, finishing off the last concerned situation, I looked at the answers and I was like, well, that's already the current situation. So I've written, of course, down, like it says, I'm afraid ... will happen. But when I looked at the answers I had for that situation, that was already mostly like 80-90% the case. Which then led me to think, well, that is probably because I'm creating it through these attack thoughts. So I'm afraid this will happen, but actually, if I'm honest with myself, they have already happened because I have these attack thoughts in me and I think about them. So I've actually created this reality. The reality is actually just mirroring these attack thoughts back and giving me this reality. And then I went back to all the other situations and concerns that I had, and I went through it, and again about 80 to 90% are already my reality. They are not things that I'm afraid of. Yes, they are, but I don't need to be too much afraid of them happening, because they are already happening. They are already my reality, because the reality is reflecting back my attack thoughts. This was a huge realization, and maybe if you look back at your concerns and the things that you're afraid of might happen, then you will find that some of them might as well be already reality. Have a look, check back, maybe you've even written them down as well, or if you just think back at the list of things that you're afraid of in the concerned situations, and maybe you realize, yeah, actually that's already pretty much my reality. It doesn't need much more than that. So yeah, pretty impactful, pretty eye-opening, this realization. I will probably let it sink in a little bit more, or maybe as well not. I don't know what to do about it. It will probably do something on my inside. I'm always happy to have this huge realization, even if they kind of sting. I mean, let's be honest, it pretty much sucks when you realize, oh, these are the things that I'm afraid will happen, but actually they already happened and you created them. Ah, yeah, not very nice, right? But hey ho, that's what it is to grow and to realize these things, and in the end I'm always grateful for it, and I will just keep going. Thank you very much for being here with me today. Let me know what lesson 26 did to you. How did you experience the exercise of this lesson? And I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow for lesson 27. Bye bye.